How sprightly and energised are you feeling?
Well, very. I've just been on a long cycle ride around East London, up the Lee Valley.
Oh, well done you. No Alka-Seltzer needed this morning?
No, I don't drink on New Year's Eve.
Do you drink the rest of the year?
Sometimes, yeah.
Oh, but I like that. But you sort of decide.
In moderation.
It's sort of anti-culture, isn't it? It's New Year's Eve and I'm absolutely not going to drink. I like that. I have a sort of anti-cultural feeling towards New Year's Eve. I don't like New Year's Eve. I actually take a delight in not participating in New Year's Eve. That's why people like us are so happy this morning.
I agree.
Have we got good reason to stay happy, though? That is the question. Sir Keir Starmer, in his New Year's speech, talking about this being the year for rebuilding. One would think, given the polling and given the way that people sort of feel things have taken a bit of a turn for the worst at the end of 2024, that's the only message, really, that he could give to the public. The old things are going to get better and we're going to make sure they do. How is he going to deliver this? What sort of things might he be able to do this year? What should we be looking out for?
Well, I mean, a year isn't very long when it comes to delivery, is it? I mean, I do remember Tony Blair being stuck in the same trap. I mean, what he called the post-euphoria pre-delivery phase, where he kept on trying to assert that he'd done all sorts of fabulous things, and he did actually achieve quite a lot in his first few months. I mean, he even achieved the peace settlement in Northern Ireland, which is not something that Keir Starmer's going to do the equivalent of. But he did end up sort of struggling to deliver any appreciable change for a long time. And it wasn't until quite close to the 2001 election that people began to feel the improvements coming through. So Keir Starmer's got a terrible problem over the next year, because he's just got to tell people to wait and hope, and in the meantime he'll just get more and more unpopular.
Well, but I think they're probably right about this. Any government, when they want to make changes, there is always a sort of drag time. There's a lag time within which it takes for people to start feeling the benefits of policies, or disbenefits, let's say. But what sort of things is he likely to do? He spoke in his New Year's speech about things he has already done. He talked about extra investment into the NHS, £25 billion. He talked about a 25% uptick in foreign criminals being deported from the United Kingdom. We know that not much has happened on the front of people crossing the Channel. But what sort of things do you think he's going to be doing in this year that are part of his programme?
It was very interesting that those are the two things that he mentioned, and they're the two things that really matter, the NHS and immigration. And he has to try and show some progress by the end of the year on both of those. I mean, it's all well and good claiming to have allocated billions and billions of pounds to the NHS, but until people actually see the results, until people can actually get hold of a GP or find an NHS dentist, they're not going to appreciate the Prime Minister throwing around large numbers. And as for immigration, as we know, the small boats are still coming, and they will keep coming, and he doesn't have an answer to that yet. And eventually he'll be driven to radical solutions, which a lot of his party won't like.
Mr. Rentoul, that circles back to a little argument Benedict Spence and I had just earlier, which was discussing what they might be prepared to do. And my sort of prediction would be that when Donald Trump becomes particularly assertive on this issue in America, it may create a ripple effect where other leaders around the world then feel like they have the political cover to also be a little bit more assertive when it comes to defending borders. And I think that a Labour Party is often gifted with being able to do things that a Conservative Party can't do, because it's sort of not expected of them. And I would wonder, depending on what Donald Trump does, and I think you're alluding to this, that Sir Keir Starmer might take a radical step when it comes to the Channel boat crossings. And like you said, it wouldn't be popular with his party. What sort of thing do you think he could consider?
But I don't know what it is. That's the problem. It's not going to be the Rwanda scheme. I mean, partly because that took so long to get off the ground, its deterrent effect was diluted, and I mean, it might have made a tiny difference at the margins, but something like he's going to need something like that, some kind of agreement with the French I don't know what it'll be. He's claiming to have started to return more people whose asylum applications have failed, and that's well and good, but it's not a significant number, and it's not going to act as a deterrent to most of those people trying to cross the channel. So I don't know what he's going to do, and I suspect he doesn't either.
No, I think you're probably right, which is why I think that sort of looking to America is important, because this is an issue that seems to haunt much of the West, and depending what sort of decisive action is taken in other countries may inspire other nations, I think, to follow suit. Certainly that is something that we have seen already when it comes to, we abandoned the Rwanda plan and Germany sort of gone, oh, is Rwanda going free? All that stuff you built, maybe we could do that. So let's see what goes on. But I do think that it is going to be a domino effect. Let's talk about energy bills. Ofgem have talked about the new energy price cap. It's gone up. I think that was to be expected. Russia's little contract, Gazprom's contract with Ukraine, has come to an end, which will have a ripple effect in the wholesale energy markets. Again, it's going to be a while before any if we can expect any improvements when it comes to energy bills comes online, one assumes. And he's also got to tackle any sort of data that comes out as to the effect of the winter subsidies programme in terms of scrapping those for pensioners. I dare say come sort of February or March we'll start having charities, age concern and all the rest of it broadcasting the impact that may have had. This is going to be a very difficult topic for him to sell, isn't it? Because bills are going to go up. The statistics, I think, after winter are not going to look good, and all the while he's going to be expecting more and more from voters to pay for his green agenda.
Yeah, I think that last bit is the real problem. He's still committed to this pie in the sky target of decarbonising the entire UK electricity generation system by 2030. I mean, we've already lost 6 months now. I mean, that is 2030 is now just what is it? It's 5 years away.
It's the 1st of January. We can do that. We can do that some easily, John. I'd give you an excuse if it's October the 3rd, but beginning of the year, we know that's 5 years away.
Yeah, but it was 5.5 years away when when he was elected, and they've announced all sorts of things in the past 6 months, but we haven't made any significantly faster progress towards that target, and nor will we, because I mean once it becomes more expensive to try to reach that target, I think the resistance from consumers and voters will be too great, and they'll have to.
Again, I think the spectre of Donald Trump, if he just goes, I'm not going to play this game anymore, I'm going to drill, and America starts to prosper from it, will also disincentivise voters from wanting to back net zero as well. I think he's in a difficult neighbourhood in the West at the moment, Sir Keir Starmer, and I wonder how much that is going to affect his resolve. John, extremely wonderful to catch up with you.